We make our own luck. Even though it might seem like some people were just born naturally lucky, like some people were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, like some people were born with just automatic fortune. Everything just seems to go right for them. Everything just seems to fit in the right place at the right time for them. They just seem to have automatic luck. I want to tell you that even if it might seem like that way for some people naturally, you can naturally increase your luck as well. You can become more lucky. This is a skill. This is something you could develop. This is something that you can gain. A lot of it has to do with your mindset. A lot of it has to do with the way that you see the world and the way that you see things. Now, some of it can be a little bit spiritual, a little bit woo-woo, and you may or may not believe any of it, but there's a lot of it that really has to do with what's in here. But we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about how you can manifest more luck into your life. You have a higher chance, a higher likelihood of receiving some sort of success if you put yourself out there, if you're bold enough to try. You have a higher likelihood of succeeding than the person who's just waiting on serendipity, than the person who's just waiting for luck to fall out the sky and meet them. Luck meets people halfway. You get what I'm saying? Luck meets people halfway. You put your half in and it'll come and meet you there. You don't just wait for luck to find you. You meet luck halfway there. God helps those who help themselves. I 100% believe that. Like 1,000,000% believe that. God helps those who help themselves. Meaning you put your work in and he'll do the rest. It's kind of like, when you put in a 401k at a company with a nice matching policy, right? The amount of money that you put into your 401k, they're willing to match. They'll meet you halfway. But you got to put yours in. Put yours in. You want to get some luck? Put yours in. Fortune favors the bold, man. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. What does that mean? That means that if you're somebody who's willing to take more risks, then you are willing to have more opportunities. You see risk as opportunity. You don't look at risk and go, it's too risky, I'm not going to try it. You go, all right, I might get lucky at this. This could be something. I'm willing to take the risk. You know what I'm saying? There is a risk versus reward ratio for things. And if the risk is high, a lot of times it ain't worth it. But sometimes the risk versus reward ratio is so perfect that you taking that risk is worth you taking the risk because the reward is so sweet, it's so grand, it's so luscious. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people who are willing to take risks, people who are opportunity seekers will find the opportunity because they're looking for it. They're not allowing rejection to stop them. They're not allowing failure to stop them. It's like they just keep on going. They wipe it off and move on. They're not afraid of that. Fortune favors the bold. The person who's bold enough to ask for the raise is more likely to get the raise. The person who's bold enough to keep on asking so many customers, asking so many clients, they're going to get the sale. The guy who's bold enough to ask out 100 women, he might only find 10 of them that might actually be interested in him. He might have got 90 rejections, but now he's got 10 women who are interested in him. Is he lucky? No, he's not lucky. He's playing to the odds. You know what I mean? He's not afraid of the rejection. He's not afraid of the failure. Fortune favors the bold. He had to be bold enough to walk up to 100 different women and get rejected by 90 of them to eventually get lucky enough to get 10. You get what I'm saying? You get rejected by 90 different clients, but 10 of them accept. Is that luck? That's not luck. Fortune favors the bold. Be bold. The next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that anybody who's lucky is a person with an abundance mindset. I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but if you haven't heard it, let's reiterate. An abundance mindset means you have this mindset that thinks there is enough for all of us. There is an abundance. It is abundance. There is so much out here for everybody. We could all eat. Everybody eats, B. Everybody eats, B. We could all eat. We could all win. We could all get a piece of the pie. We could all have something. I don't got to steal from you. You ain't got to steal from me. There isn't scraps that are just left that we got to fight over. I believe there's enough. There's enough money. There's enough opportunities. There's enough materials. There's enough resources. There's enough love. There's enough everything, right? There's enough views. Everybody could win. Everybody could eat. Having that abundance mindset means that you believe that. You want to be lucky, you got to have an abundance mindset. You got to believe that you could get some. You got to believe. You know what I'm saying? I want you to develop an extreme abundance mindset. I want you to live in abundance. I want you to breathe abundance. I want you to exist in abundance. I want you to dream in abundance, right? I want everything in your life to feel abundant. I want you to always carry that idea with you that there's enough for me. There's enough for all of us, but there's enough for me. I'm always going to be able to get some. I ain't never going to starve. I'm always going to be able to eat. It's always enough for me. There's always an opportunity for me. There's always something for me to get. I ain't never going to be without. You keep that in your mind. You keep that locked away. You always got to feel that way. You got to walk it, talk it, breathe it. Believe that. Believe that to your core. Believe that to your core, and you will be lucky. You will be lucky because you're abundant. But abundance starts in here. Abundance starts in here. Your mind and your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to be abundant. Believe it's enough. The law of detachment is a real thing. The more and more that you try to chase something, the more and more it's running away from you. The harder that you try to float, the more likely you are to sink. It's a backwards law, but it's a real thing. And I know we've all experienced it at some point. We've all experienced this idea of just the less you try, the better things turn out, right? Expect nothing and gain everything. If you want to be lucky, you got to have the willingness to take a L. You got to have the willingness to walk away. You have to have the willingness to not win. When you have the willingness to take a L, you at least put yourself at a 50-50 chance of getting something, which is a higher percentage than most chances, right? You want to be lucky, you got to be able to have that 50-50 chance or even higher. But being detached, right? Being detached, being indifferent to outcome, not caring how things turn out, being good with or without something, it gives you such a higher chance of actually getting it. Because you don't care. Because you don't care. Because you're not placing so much energy. You're not placing so much attachment. You got to understand the mindset, right? The mindset, the frequency, the vibration of a person who is lucky is a person who understands that they're not always lucky. Because who is? Nobody's always lucky. Everybody can't have it all. Everybody can't always win. You're going to have to lose sometimes. And that means that they're willing to take a L. They're not walking away from L's and being upset about it. They're not butthurt. They take a L and they take a L with pride. They don't take it as a loss. They just go, hey, it wasn't for me. It's a mindset. You get what I'm saying? I want you to really program yourself like, look, I ain't take a L. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I wasn't supposed to have it. Because that places so much more importance and so much more power on when you do win. When you do get lucky. It makes it like, yo, this was personally for me. This was picked out for me. It was handpicked. This was destiny, right? This was serendipity, baby. I was supposed to get this. I was chosen. It's a mindset. The person who is lucky is not afraid to take an L. They are indifferent to outcome. They are good with it or good without it. They don't care. They know they're not always lucky. And that's what makes them lucky. They're not looking for it, right? They're detached from it. They're detached from the outcome. They're detached from this particular thing. They're not trying to get a particular thing to happen. They are detached. You need to stop caring so much. You need to detach. You get what I'm saying? You need to let go. You need to stop caring so much about the outcome. Have an indifference to outcome. Fortune favors the bold. What do you got to do to be bold? You got to be detached. You got to be detached from the outcome. If you're somebody who is observant, right? That means you're observant enough to know whether or not something is high enough risk versus reward for you to actually take that risk. Which means that sometimes there's some opportunities you got to walk away from. There's some things that are just not going to be for you. You're just not going to get it. Sometimes you know that the risk is very high, and that means if the risk is high, you're going to take a L. It doesn't mean you're always going to win. It doesn't mean you're always going to be lucky. You get what I'm saying? That's why they have hot streaks. They have lucky streaks. Sometimes they on fire and sometimes they not. You know what happens? A lot of times those people who are wise enough, they understand if I'm on a lucky streak, I keep on rolling. If I ain't feeling it today, it's time to stop. Think about it like that, man. They know that they're not going to be lucky all the time, but they have the willingness to take a L whenever they're feeling lucky. You got to have the willingness to take a L. You got to be detached. You can't care. You can't care. Toss the chessboard up in the air and say, I don't care. The next thing that I want to touch on is in addition to that law of detachment, and that is being detached from the way that you are even going to receive your blessing. Be detached from how you're going to be lucky. Don't be thinking about the specifics, right? It's not about the specifics. Don't care about the how. Don't think about the how. It's not about the how. It's not about the what. It's not about the when. You know what I'm saying? You just got to believe. You got to believe that you're lucky. Just believe that you are. Be delusional. Be Delulu. Delulu is the Solulu. That's what the young girls are saying these days, right? But there is some wisdom in that. I want you to think about it from a deeper point of view. Sometimes it's not about a particular thing, you know? You got to have just this idea that like, yo, God got me. You know what I'm saying? I got me. I got me. I have my own back. I'm always going to have my own back. I always got me at the end of the day. And aside from me, God got me. The universe got me. You know what I mean? The situation is just going to work itself out. It's just going to work. And your belief, your emotional conviction, that belief that things are just going to work out, 9 times out of 10, it really will. Because you're putting that out there. You know what I mean? Which means that sometimes you got to be delusional. It's not always a bad thing to be delusional. Sometimes you really do got to just put it in your own mind, something that seems impossible. Sometimes you got to put it in your own mind, like, I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this goal. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, but it's going to. It's going to, because it has to. It has to work. I will be lucky enough. It's just going to happen. Be Delulu. Sometimes it truly is not about being rational or being realistic. Sometimes you just got to believe. You got to believe. Parappa the rapper, you got to believe. You got to believe. You got to believe that your drill can pierce the heavens. You got to believe in the you that believes in you. Not the me that believes in you, but the you that believes in you. I hope some of y'all is picking up what I'm putting down. I hope one of y'all is catching this. But you know what I'm saying? You got to believe. Sometimes being realistic is holding you back. You know what I mean? Sometimes that rationality is keeping you from receiving that luck, receiving your blessing. You could be luckier if you just accept it. You got to have that mindset of, I accept my blessing in whatever form that it comes in. I'm not too worried about the particulars. I'm not too worried about the high. I'm not too worried about the what. I'm not too worried about the when. I'm just receiving it. I'm open to receiving it. I'm open to receiving what is meant for me. What is my fortune? What is my blessing? What is my luck? I'm open to receiving it. You got to be open. You got to just be open to it. Right? I think sometimes we block our own blessings because we're not open to it. And we're looking for something too particular. We're looking for something too specific. There was this story that they used to tell in church back in the day when I was a kid about this lady who was like, she was in an emergency. There was a hurricane or something like that. And she's on the top of her house. Water everywhere. She's barely on the verge of survival. And she's praying to God. She's praying. Please, God, help me. Just help me. Just help me. Somebody comes by on a raft. They're like, hey, I got open space on this raft. You want to get on this raft? She's just like, nah, I'm waiting for a sign. I'm waiting for something from God. God's going to help me. God's got me. Okay. Dude on the raft goes away. Next thing you know, there's somebody on a boat, an actual boat. A boat comes by. Hey, we got some space on this boat. I'm trying to save you. You want to get saved? Come on. Come get on this boat. She's like, nah, I'm waiting on that sign from God. God's got me. I'm waiting on this certain, hey, God's got me. He got something specific for me. Next thing you know, it's a helicopter. Helicopter come through. Hey, we got some space on the helicopter. Come get on the chopper. Come get on the chopper. We're trying to save you. Come on. Nah, God's got me. God is going to come and get me. God's got me. Don't worry about me. Boom. Next thing you know, the lady is drowning. You know what I mean? She ends up there at the pearly gates. So she has an opportunity to go on ahead and meet with the Most High. She's up there and she's asking him the question, right? She's just like, you know, thank you for bringing me up here with you. But when I was down there on earth, why didn't you help? And he looks at her and he's like, what are you talking about? I sent you so many things. I sent you a raft. I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. You didn't take any of my solutions. You didn't take any of the blessings that I gave you. You didn't take any of the things that I gave you. I sent them for you. These were your gifts. These were your blessings, and you did not receive them. So you perished. And sure, you're up here with me now, but I gave you blessings. I sent them your way. You just didn't receive them. You weren't open to accepting them. You were looking for something specific. What, did you want me to grab my hand down there and pick you up and pull you up to heaven with me? And that story always stuck with me, you know what I mean? Because this woman was looking for something specific, and she didn't even know what that specific was. She didn't even know what it was that she was looking for, but she was looking for something specific. And everything that came her way, she was turning it down because she just couldn't accept the fact that something was coming for her, that she had a blessing. She just wouldn't accept that blessing. She wouldn't take that package. Oh, that one wasn't enough. Oh, that one didn't look right. Oh, that one isn't it. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But maybe you're just not accepting it. Maybe you're not open enough to receiving it. And that could be for so many various reasons as to why you might feel that you're not open to receiving your blessing or not open to being lucky. Maybe you don't feel worthy enough. Maybe you don't feel like you deserve it. Maybe you've done some bad things in the past and you feel like, man, I don't deserve this luck. I don't deserve this opportunity. I don't deserve this love. I don't deserve this whatever. But hey, when luck is showing its light on you, right? When you are receiving luck, when the universe is giving luck to you, you got to accept it. Accept your gift. Accept your gift. Because otherwise it'll just pass you by. The universe throws a bone to us every now and then. Every single one of us. I truly believe that every single one of us, the universe throws a bone to us every now and then. It's just up to you to be able to receive it. It's just up to you to be able to have that open mind, that open heart, and to be able to be like, this is my blessing, this is my luck. And I'm open to receiving it. I'm okay with it. I accept it no matter what way that it comes to me. I am not worried about the particulars. I am not worried about the how. I am not worried about the why. I'm not worried about the when. It's okay. I just accept that it's for me. I believe. I'm being Delulu. I'm going to be Delulu till it is the Solulu. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to believe. And on top of believing that, sometimes you just got to accept it. So have that emotional conviction, but also have that openness to receive. I mean, I want you to think about it like this. If I told you that I could give you $1 million tomorrow, but you can never ask where it comes from, you can never find out where it's coming from, and you're not going to know when it's going to happen, right? And you're not going to know any other details about it. You just know that I'm willing to give you $1 million. And just for the technicality, it's legal. It's perfectly legal. It's perfectly fine. There was nothing evil attached to this money. There's no bad energy, no bad juju to this money. It's just $1 million pure dollars just for you. But you can't know where it comes from, and you can't know why, and you can't know when. Are you going to accept it? Are you just going to go, you know what? Give me that $1 million. Please, give me the million bones. I will take it. Or are you going to be sitting there like, but I need to know the particulars. I need to know how. I need to know why. I need to know when. Forget the how. Forget the why. Forget the when. It doesn't matter. If you're lucky enough to receive something, just receive it. Just be open to getting it. Your blessing is your blessing. Just accept it, whatever it might be. Just accept it. It's yours. It's yours. Now, I personally think that this is one of the most powerful ways to manifest luck into your life, and that is through visualization. Visualization is so powerful. Whatever we think, you know what I'm saying? Whatever we think, that is what we attract into our lives. Whatever we're constantly putting our attention towards, that we somehow attract it into our life. It's just a part of nature. You know, it's the law of attraction. You know, the difference between the law of detachment and the law of attraction is detachment is you are detaching yourself from, you know, a particular outcome. You're good with something or good without something. That's what detachment is about. But the law of attraction, that's about where we place all of our energy towards. It's not about a particular outcome. It's more about just the thoughts that we reinforce into our mind. The thoughts, the feeling, the essence, you know, of what we reinforce into our mind, the identity we walk around with, who we visualize ourselves to be. And if we visualize ourselves to be a lucky person, we will be a lucky person. Because we believe that we're a lucky person. We'll be putting all of our effort, our energy, our essence, our spiritual currency into being that person. We will vibrate ourselves onto a frequency of being a lucky person because we put our energy towards it. A person who is lucky is lucky. You get what I'm saying? It's like they walk around with the idea, with the identity of someone who is lucky. You couldn't tell them no different. It's just a part of who they are. It's in their aura. You know what I mean? It's in their aura. They just emanate luck. They emanate fortune. They emanate good. You know what I'm saying? It's like they are a lucky person. But they're a lucky person because they believe it. They're a lucky person because they visualize themselves at the finish line. They visualize themselves finding just the right thing that they're looking for in the store. They visualize themselves always making it right to the plane right before it decides to take off. It ain't gonna leave before they get on. They visualize themselves always getting the just the last thing. You know what I'm saying? The store's getting ready to run out, they're gonna get the last one. It's just how they visualize themselves. It's how they walk around in life. They walk around in life with this identity, with this feeling of, I am lucky, I am blessed, I am fortunate. They visualize their whole entire life to be that way. They attract that to them because that's where they place their mind. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, how many times have you ever been in school? Doesn't matter if it's high school, college, whatever, but you've been in school, you've been in class, and you're just like, I don't want to answer any questions today. Please, please don't make the professor call on me. I'm praying that the professor don't call on me today. It's like the second that you put that energy out there, it's the second that you attract it to you. Why? Because you're putting energy towards it. And whether that's positive or negative energy, you are putting energy towards it. You're visualizing it. You're technically manifesting it because that's where you're putting your energy. That's where you're putting your mind. You are creating memories that don't exist yet. But the good news is that you can manipulate that skill. You can utilize it for good or for bad, for positive or for negative in your life. You can start thinking about what you do want. What is your vision? What is your vision? Who do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? You want to be lucky? Visualize yourself as lucky. Start thinking of yourself as lucky. Start thinking of yourself as a person who is fortunate. Good things happen to me. You know what I mean? You got to feel that. It is a fact that the mind does not know the difference between something that we visualize, something that we imagine in our minds, and something that actually happened. You get what I'm saying? You can make a memory that does not exist yet. So you can make a memory of you winning. You can make a memory of you being lucky. You can make a memory of you being fortunate. That didn't already happen yet, but your mind will reinforce that. It will believe that you are. Speak it into existence. Make it into a reality, but make it into a reality in your mind first. You know what I mean? If you want to be lucky, if you want to be somebody who is lucky, you got to just imagine yourself as such. You need to already have that in your mind, that's just who you are. You visualize yourself that way. It's who you believe yourself to be. You know what I mean? But you always got to visualize the outcome that you want. You got to always be thinking about what you do want. Stop placing so much energy on what you don't want and place it onto what you do want. Because the more and more that you put energy towards it, the more and more you will bring it towards you. We attract what we're constantly thinking about. You know what I mean? We attract what we are. So start walking into the shoes of somebody who is lucky and somebody who is fortunate. You know what I'm saying? We create our own synchronicities. We create our own meanings that we assign to certain things. And if you're looking for signs, you're going to find a sign. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for something, you're going to find it. You have the opportunity to create your own synchronicity. You can look at a repeating number that you keep on seeing in your life, and you can assign whatever meaning you want to it, whether that's a positive or a negative. You keep on seeing 444. What does that mean to you? Is it good luck or is it bad luck? That's up to you. All these little rituals, all these little things. You break a mirror, 7 years bad luck. Is it? What if I say it's good luck? Who determines whether it's good luck or bad luck? You do. All this energy is the same energy. It's just used on a positive or a negative charge. You know what I'm saying? Protons, neutrons, electrons. It's like you are assigning a positive or negative switch to it. It's poles, it's polarity. You know? Cold is the absence of heat. If you're unfortunate, if you're unlucky, that is the absence of fortune. That is the absence of luck. Switch the pole. I think one of the things that really, really determines whether or not you're going to be lucky, whether or not you're going to be fortunate, is whether or not you spend time around people who are unlucky. Whether or not you spend time around people who are unfortunate. You do not want to spend time around people who are not lucky. You know what I'm saying? If you ever watched Hey Arnold, you don't want to be around Eugene. Don't spend time with Eugene. Eugene, he has a black cloud that follows him no matter where he goes. No matter where he goes, no matter what he does, he is just unfortunate. That's just how he is. That's just part of his life. Nobody can explain it. And Eugene's a wonderful person. He's a great person. You know, he's one of the nicest people in the world. But for some reason, he just has misfortune constantly. Nothing ever works out for him. And any time that anybody spends time with him, his lack of fortune, it rubs off onto them. That negativity that follows him, it latches on to the next person. And now they're both being affected by Eugene's bad luck. Now, we don't know what it would take to take that hex off of Eugene, to take that curse off of Eugene. We don't know what it'll do. But in the meantime, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be lucky, you can't be around Eugene. You can't be around that person. You can't be around this negativity. You can't be around people who are unlucky. You can't be around people who are unfortunate. It will infect you. You know what I mean? It will infect you. Get away from them. Look, it is literally the 10th law in the 48 laws of power. It's about infection. You know, avoid the people who are unlucky. Avoid the people who are unhappy. Avoid the misfortunate. You can be infected with their misfortune. It's true, it's real, it can happen. You really don't want to be around other people who aren't fortunate. It's not to say that they can't take their energy and transmute it from this negative side into the positive side. There's some work that they would need to do, and it could happen, but it's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to try to help bring them into that positive end. That's on them. You know what I mean? We all carry around our own package deal of aura, of negativity or positivity. We all carry around our package deal of whether we are fortunate or unfortunate. That other person can infect you. But simultaneously, if you're around somebody who is fortunate, their good luck can shine on you. If good things are happening to somebody, you start hanging around them, good things start happening to you too. You know how misery loves company? Fortune and misfortune also loves company. Essentially, whatever energy has the most power is what is going to convert the other one. And 9 times out of 10, if you're being neutral, your neutrality can be infected. You know what I mean? You could just be neutral. Everything could be fine. But you start hanging around that person who has that bad luck, now you got bad luck. You start hanging around that person who's hella fortunate, all of a sudden good luck is shining down on you. You got to watch out for that. It's in the 48 laws of power. It's rule number 10. It's law number 10. Don't be hanging around the people who are unfortunate. It is a bad deal for you. Now, let's say that you've been infected. Let's say that it has happened to you. Let's say all of a sudden now things are falling down out of your favor. How do you fix it? What do you do to solve it? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You start doing some of that other stuff. You have emotional conviction and belief that you are going to become lucky again. You know what I'm saying? You start looking for opportunities. Fortune favors the bold. So you start looking for them opportunities and you start finding them until one of them selects you. You visualize yourself at the finish line. You visualize yourself as the person who always gets enough. You have that abundance mindset. You walk around abundant clearly all the time, thinking about how there's enough out here for me. Doesn't matter if I didn't get any yesterday, I could get some today. We could all win. We could all eat. Everybody eats, B. I am detached. I am indifferent. I am okay with or without it. Win or lose. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Delulu is the Solulu. I don't care. Delulu is the Solulu. Doesn't matter about the how, the why, or the when. It's coming to me. That's how you get more lucky. You stay away from them negative folks. You stay away from them unlucky, unfortunate souls. It will infect you. It's horrible. It's horrible when it infects you, but it can happen. So be careful. It's like, do I believe in cursed objects? Do I believe in lucky or unlucky rituals? Of course I do. Of course, I believe that there are cursed objects and there are blessed objects. There are lucky rituals and unlucky rituals, but all of it has to do with belief. All of it has to do with that emotional conviction that you put behind it, that core belief in whether or not something works or doesn't work. What I really want to try to get through here is that there is always going to be energy that you can imbue onto yourself or onto something. right? You can imbue your energy onto a good luck charm, something that you believe has good juju and good energy towards it that you can use, and it's going to always make things better for you or always result in something. Or you could have a cursed object, something that brings misery and brings pain and discomfort and agony towards your life. You could have bad rituals. You could have something that if I do this in this particular order, my day is going to go wrong. My day is going to go wrong. Or you could be like, look, if I do this in this particular order, my day is going to go swimmingly. But it is all about your belief. It's all about your emotional conviction. Cursed object, blessed object, it doesn't matter. Good luck charm, bad luck charm. It's all about you. It's all about your energy. Where do you place your energy? The same energy that produces a curse is the same energy that produces a blessing. The same energy that produces a bad omen is the same thing that produces a good luck sign, a synchronicity. It's all about the polarity. It's all about just, good or bad, positive or negative. Proton or electron, you know what I mean? Which way you're going to switch the pole. But it is all beginning in here, and it's all beginning in here, and it's all spiritual. It's all metaphysical. It's all around us. All this energy is all around us on a metaphysical level. You know what I'm saying? We cannot see it at all times, but it's there. This energy is there, and you can harness it. You can become more lucky. You can manifest more luck into your life. You can become more fortunate. It's up to you, though. Truthfully, your luck is really just a representation of the polarity happening within you. Whether you are more positively charged or more negatively charged, you know what I mean? You're just experiencing what you have within. You're experiencing the energetic signature that you are currently walking within, the frequency that you're vibing on, the vibration that you are on. That's what you're receiving. That's what you're getting. You are what you say you are. It's who you feel you are. It's who you think you are. And who you believe yourself to be. You want to be luckier, you got to change that. It's totally up to you. You can be luckier. I want you to be more fortunate. I want you to understand that you have just as much of a chance of being fortunate as you do of being unfortunate. You have just as much of a chance of being lucky as you do of being unlucky. Because it's all up to you. It's all up to you. You determine whether or not you're going to be lucky or unlucky. You determine whether or not you are going to be somebody who has fortune. You don't have to be misfortunate. You don't have to be unlucky. It's either or. It's up to you. But you decide, you choose. You got to think about how you want it to be. You got to walk around with this idea of who you want to be. But hey, that's all I really wanted to talk to you about today. I just want you to be more fortunate. I want you to recognize that you have the opportunity to become more lucky. You don't got to be unlucky. You don't got to be unfortunate. You don't have to be infected with someone's misfortune. That doesn't have to happen. You can be having a lucky life. You can be a lucky person. You can manifest all of this good fortune, this good juju, this good energy into your life. It is possible. There's an abundance out here. We can all eat. Everybody eats, B. Everybody eats, B. I'm telling you, you can be lucky. You just got to follow some of those things that I talked to you about, and you will find it. Luck doesn't just find you out of nowhere. Luck meets you halfway. So put your time in, put your energy in, put your spiritual currency in. You can be luckier. You can be luckier. Start detaching. Be indifferent to the outcome. You're going to be luckier. Much love, man. Much love. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all for participating and showing me love every single time. So, I just got to tell you that I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart because, realistically, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. So much love. I hope to see you in the next one. All right, peace.